All right, recording has started. So this is my my channel, Be Your Own Best Option. This here is my test introductory video. And basically I'm just going to be playing through with StreamYard here and trying to navigate it and learn it and use it. I'm obviously just learning how to do this. So basically what the channel is it's for people who maybe want to hear my intake on the corporate life. You know, working in a corporate job for 40 years or 30 years or whatever, and getting to that time in your life where you just have had enough. Like the corporate life is just nagging on you. And me being in my 50s, my early 50s, I'm starting to see life in a different perspective. I don't have much time left, really, when you take a look at it. Say what average life is, 76 to 82 or something like that. So realistically, there's not much time left. And how much of that time is, you know, worth, you're going to be in good health, be able to live a decent life. So basically, I want to kind of document and map my progression through this kind of transition period from corporate life to something else. I don't like to use the term retirement. I am Generation X, and I don't really. This my whole adult life, I haven't seen the point of retirement. Retirement just seems like it's a carrot that's been dangled in front of the boomers. The boomers face their entire career, and it seems like whatever they touch turned to gold anyway. So I guess that retirement model kind of fit their lifestyle. But for generations after, it's that model retirement is non-existent. So time to come up with something else. My idea of, I guess you call it retirement, would be something that would be, it would involve work, being productive, and keeping myself busy and engaged, not just leisure activities. So, I mean, YouTube's a good venue for that. I do have another channel. It's an off-grid channel that I do from time to time. I haven't been working on it lately, just because of some personal stuff that I'm going through right now. But decided to start this channel, and then I'll pick up on the other channel as well later on. It's not a really good time for that channel this time of year anyway. So I think we're in June, so I'll plug away at that a little bit. And that channel is more of a fall winter channel, so it's very seasonal. But I wanted to do something like this because I'm very intrigued with this type of studio podcast type layout for a YouTube channel for creating content. I can come down to my studio, which is fairly new. My basement had a flood here last year and I had to redo it. So I thought this is a pretty good opportunity to turn this portion of my basement into kind of a podcast YouTube type studio and other things. I've got other things on the go here, so it's not quite done yet. I'm waiting on some decoration type stuff, some pictures and stuff like that. I got a couple little knickknacks I gotta finish, like a little bit of trim here and a little bit of trim over there. But for the most part, it's done. I just have to get used to it and figure it out. The lighting, I gotta figure out the lighting too. I'm playing with the lighting, so over the course of the channel, I suspect you'll see a number of different changes. And I can't stop looking at my computer screen when I'm talking to you guys. That's another thing I'll have to fix. Anyway, yeah, so there'll be a different way of creating income along with my regular retirement type funds or whatever, you know, the type that you have registered with the government or whatever. But I'll be experimenting with that. Yeah, basically like with these retirement accounts, like the whole time, my whole adult life, I've been wondering, like when I started, it was all mutual funds and that, and they were fairly expensive to own. So, but you know, I always thought ahead. It's like, well, you save up for, you know, the career, your working career, for this large lump sum of money, and then what do? You just spend the money that you saved, worked your whole life saving for. It just seemed it didn't make sense to me to live your whole life to save up a large chunk of money and then just live off that money. There's got to be something else you can do with that money that'll, you know, you don't sell anything to sell any of your assets to live off of, right? Especially with the stock market, like the stock market would be up and down and up and down. And if you need some money when the stock market's down, like you're losing, you know, not only are you selling an asset, but you're losing any potential gains afterwards. So I got a theory. I've got a strategy for that sort of income base in retirement off those retirement funds. But I also want to get into regular entrepreneurship, business, different types of businesses. We'll have to see what comes of that. I've got lots of ideas in that, but it's just getting the time and the courage, I guess, to try it out. I have a problem with now analyzing things to death before actually putting things into action. So I'll have to work on that as well. Anyway, we're just playing around here with StreamYard. Here, I'm just going to be shuffling around the pages here. It's going to be a bit of a learning curve for me. So we'll throw up this one here. I really like listening to this guy, Aaron Knightley. He's living exactly what I was talking about, right? He's doing a different way, his way, I guess you could say, but
I mentally checked out of my last 9-to-5 job long
what
before I
makes a lot of
quit
sense
at the age of 27, where I was able to replace and escape my 9-to-5 by building a business whilst using my employer basically as my investor. My last job funded me to build my business. But anyway, we'll get into that in a bit. So look, quiet exiting is what I was doing in my early 20s. But I actually thought I was quietly quitting.
I think
this is a new term for me, quiet exiting, and I've recently looked into it, hence why we're doing a video about it. Are you doing it now? Are you considering it? What's the difference? Well, quiet quitting means that you've disengaged, you've emotionally detached yourself from your job. You go in, you do the tasks, you go home, you're still on the rat race, right? You're at the hamster wheel. You're still, nothing's happening. Like you have removed yourself, but there's no actionable plan. Whereas quiet exiting, you're working towards something. Maybe early retirement, depending on your age. You're trying to build up savings, put more money into investment so that you can step away. Or maybe like me.
Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create something outside of work, out of a corporate job to A, keep myself busy, and B, replace the income I would have been making at a corporate job, working a 9-to-5 or whatever that may be. What was I going to say? The variety of things you could do to create money, like there's no ceiling to it. You can create wealth out of just about everything nowadays. Camera, computer, your ideas, your thoughts. I'm also into, investing, buying stocks, creating opportunities like that. Not to say that I wouldn't take a regular type job from time to time, but it would have to be short term. Like there'd have to be an end date. There's a social aspect to going to a place of employment too that, so a lot of people don't think about. I don't think when they enter into the retirement years, a lot of their identity gets lost when they quit their job or whatever. They go do their leisure activities for a few months. They've got their outside work buddies, but usually while they're working, they line up their days off with their work buddies who are also working, right? So you take yourself out of the employment space, and your buddies are still working. Well, then you got a lot of time by yourself to come up with new ideas, new hobbies, new whatever, right? But after a while, and this happened to me about 4 or 5 years ago when I was laid off. I took a mini retirement after I was laid off from my job. I took about a year off, but it wasn't a year. It was a year off my career, not a year off work. So the first 4 months after I was laid off, I just because in the spring, it was March, I was laid off. So the first 4 months, it was just enjoying the weather, enjoying the transition into summer, doing stuff around the house, cutting the lawn, just regular chores activities. And I was doing my leisure activities as well. But after 4 months, you know, that got boring. So I decided to take a job working for a gravel company, just driving a gravel truck. Simple job. Load up your truck, take it from point A to point B, deliver it. That's it. But it was like 6 days on, 1 day off type thing, right? And I had an itch to do it. It was something I wanted to do, right? So I did that for about 6 months. And I think it was just before Christmas, I gave my notice and I was done. So then I carry on with my mini retirement. I think I was off work till March. Was it March? Yeah, beginning of March of the next year. And then I picked up another job and I was there for 10 weeks. And I went, this ain't for me. An opportunity came back for my my original career. So I applied for it, got the job, and it's kind of where I'm at now. So been there for 4 years. So it's all good. Anyway, I'm at that point where it's like, well, what are you doing in retirement? So I had to kind of redefine what retirement was. I don't think I'm going to retire traditionally. I think I want to still be productive and creative and keep my mind going. But I want my time to be mine. I don't want to be selling my time to an employer and have to jump through all those hoops and deal with, you know, other workers that, you know, I don't necessarily gel with. I tolerate them. They tolerate me. You know, that sort of dynamic. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling right now. Let's carry on with the self-taught tutorial with StreamYard here. So yeah, that was Aaron Knightley. I watch him quite a bit. He's pretty motivating. Something to strive towards that level of success as an entrepreneur. Now, I'm going to share with you. This is my Snowball Analytics. This is my Wealthsimple account. I just started this, transferred some dollars from an RSP into this Wealthsimple RSP and TFSA. And I really like this app. It is very thorough. Shows you upcoming dividends. And it keeps current with the current market conditions. It's linked to the market. So you enter your funds. And here you can go up to this button here, enter funds. And then you can add your whatever, add new trade, blah, blah, blah. And then the time and the amount of shares and the price you paid for them. Like you put your date in that you bought them, the amount of shares you bought and the price you paid for them. And it will track from that point on. It will track from that point on, which is good. I got, you know, there's some Vanguard stuff here, some ETFs that are just strictly growth. There is some dividends with these, I believe. They're not very much, but I've got some cover call ETFs that I've got invested in. Now you can see the number here is like in the red quite a bit, right? These are pretty volatile, but they pay good distributions. And that's what I'm worried about, is the dividends and distributions, because this fluctuates up and down, up and down. Same with this one here. Now I'm just learning the cover call ETFs, so that's why I only have two kind of ETFs in that category right now. But I want to get more. My plan is, especially I got my TFSA, to get more into it. I've got some Microsoft or some MST and some biggie ETFs. And it's going to go towards paying for my the snowmobile payment. It's going to try that out for a while and see how it works. And now what you're supposed to do, I think, with these ETFs is you're supposed to, not spend it all. You're supposed to reinvest. But for the time being, I'm just going to pretend I need to utilize that. I'm going to see what happens with the market and the NAV erosion on these two. And I'll keep adding money to both of these. And the idea is to get about $20,000 into my TFSA and just play with that, the distributions in that, and put that towards like bills I'd otherwise be paying out of my paycheck, just to test it out. That'll be fairly short term though. Once I get the hang of this and I get more cover call ETFs figured out, I'll be able to manage it better, manage the NAV erosion, and let's see here. Oh, yeah. And be able to grow it, right? But I'll still add to it. That's one of my strategies. Let's see here. Where am I? Yeah. So let me think here. What else was I going to do? Go on my YouTube channel here. We'll stop sharing this one. And then I'll share screen. And right here, share that. This is my channel. I got no post yet. I did have it as a different channel a little earlier, but I've revamped it. I've got 10 subs, but that's from a while ago. Yes, so this will be the first video. It will be uploaded, and you're watching it right now. That's my channel. And I hope to have more on a regular basis, because it's easy enough for me to pop down to my studio here and create something. So like I said, I just gotta get used to the format, playing with StreamYard, getting my studio ready, and structuring an actual kind of flow of how I want the episode to go. Right now I'm just off the cuff. I'm just hitting record and starting. So this is it. This is the start. Anyway, with that said, thanks for joining me on my initial episode for this channel. And I hope you stop by later. Hit the subscribe button, like, follow, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, thanks.